All right. Good morning, everyone.
Okay, let's do it live. Hi, everybody. My name is Brian Colligan with Alpha Growth. I'm here with Aidaa Wong today and Rebecca from Alpha Growth as well. And we're really excited to talk about LuxFi. Aidaa, why don't you introduce yourself and tell everybody a little bit about LuxFi?
Yeah, sure. Hi, Brian. Thanks for having us today. And hi, everyone. This is Ada, the CEO and founder of LuxFi. So I have been working in fashion and luxury industries for years. I worked in luxury brands as fashion designer and fashion magazine as creative directors before I find another data company called LuxSense, where we work with different luxury retailers engaging in AI, big data, and blockchain technology to solve the pain points in the secondary markets. So in general, luxury assets hold value well and can be resold. However, counterfeiting is one of the biggest challenges in the luxury markets, and blockchain technology could solve this problem, which including anti-counterfeiting, enable transparency and traceability of the item's information and history. So I remember years ago, everyone called it like digital assets when we start to use blockchain technology to solve the counterfeiting issue for our clients in the secondary luxury markets. And now everyone is calling it like NFT. So I believe that the product in the future will all have the NFT twins, especially for the luxury goods. And since luxury brands and the retailers, they are moving in metaverse. Even though now it's more for the marketing purpose and the branding and marketing purpose, but will be soon like construct new revenue model grant in Web3. So it's like in the same way as many business has continued to move from offline to online in the past 15 years. So we find LuxFi is an NFT marketplace for luxury assets. By bridging the gap between the physical and digital worlds, once you purchase the luxury goods from LuxFi marketplace, it will come with an NFT twins that can be used and trade in the different metaverse. And we use the NFT to prove the ownership and authenticity of the unique physical items in the real world. Each unique physical item is tied to its NFT twins by using the physical item's own fingerprints. I think that's pretty much about my background and why we create LuxFi.
Okay, I want to dive in a little bit more into that. Like what was the pure inspiration moment, or what was that like little aha moment where you're like, oh, that's that we're gonna use NFTs, or we're gonna abstract these asset classes? Like what happened? Like, do you remember the day, or do you remember like the idea generation specifically?
Yeah, I don't remember like the dates, but I know because when I see all the products right now, we have the QR code right on the products. So it's for like when you go to the supermarket, you will actually scan the QR code and you will be able to see the price, everything. I think that's something will be like replaced by the NFT in the future as well. That's what I'm thinking. So and especially for the luxury items, since there's a lot of counterfeit things in the market, and NFT can actually use for the authentication of the physical items.
Okay, so what you're telling me is, if I can scan the QR code, I can see the product, and in traditional e-commerce, I'd scan it, I buy it, I have it shipped to me. But what you're saying is, like, what if we abstracted, just kind of like removed the shipping part, and then I held the ownership like instantaneously from scanning the QR code and buying the item, and then I got an NFT as a sort of as a receipt and an abstracted value and representation of the product. Yes.
Yep, that's right. And then also, like after you receive the NFT, you can decide if you want to claim the physical item, or if you can store in our local custody. If that's for investment purpose, for example, if that's a Rolex, right, selling like 30,000 in US, and then in China is selling like 32,000. But if you pay for the fee accessing, the import duty, like the handling fees, and then the price will be the same. So, but is that for investment purpose, you can actually store it in our local custody for the investment. And then you can just transfer the ownership to the next buyers, and then you make the profit. And then the new buyer can actually claim the physical items and then ship it to their address.
Right. So what you're saying is that I see this a lot in crypto, and this is a good thing, but it's a kind of like a financial regulatory like arbitrage, where
Yep.
if I would like receive the goods, I'd have to pay all these taxes, and it's actually less beneficial if I'm storing this as an asset class versus using this as a functional product, right?
Exactly.
So you're trying to serve the slice of the market who wants to buy the product in terms of speculation as an asset class. I've seen this happen a lot. I have a friend who does this a lot in the sports card, in the sports memorabilia space. It was very interesting how they use sports cards and sports memorabilia to effectively speculate on a player's career over the next season. But let's get back to your project. What differentiates you from other NFT projects in the industry?
So we partner up with hundreds of retailers and merchants across different countries, carrying over 1 million items from the major brands.
Wow.
We have already listed 200,000 items on our marketplace, which more than any luxury marketplaces in the world. And we work directly with professional verifiers to eliminate counterfeiting items while minting NFT on our multi-chain blockchain network. So we are slightly different from others NFT marketplace in the market, such as OpenSea, since all of our NFTs has an underlying physical assets, and we only focus on the luxury assets that have the resale value. And we would say we are a combination of e-commerce and NFT marketplace, and LuxFi is creating the luxury e-commerce 3.0 to connect brands and retailers to Web3. For anyone to buy, sell, and invest in authentic items with cryptocurrency, and of course, they can pay with traditional payments as well. And this is a new way to trade real luxury assets through Web3 technologies.
Interesting.
Oh, so you can actually pay, because I obviously heard that you guys will be able to pay with crypto. But first of all, I want to ask also which kind of crypto, but I didn't know that you also can pay in fiat on your platform. So there's flexibility either if you're a crypto native or if you just want to pay normal cash, correct?
Yeah, you're right. Because we also target on more traditional buyers as well, not just crypto buyers on our marketplace. That's why we also have the traditional payments integrated in our marketplace.
So which cryptocurrency I can go ahead right now and buy when you're obviously going to be live, guys? Which cryptocurrency can I use?
Yeah, so we start with top coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, and stable coins like USDT, USDC, BUSD, and we will be integrated with payment gateway first in order for our user to use other altcoins for the payments as well.
Interesting.
Also, one more technical question, Brian. Actually, I'm really interested which blockchain you actually chose to execute it.
So for our tokens, the LSF is built on ERC20, and for the NFT on our marketplace is built on ERC1155, and we will soon have BEP 1155 as well. And after that, we will have Polygon, and later on we will also have the Solana as well.
All right, so you got a lot of different partners. So what type of categories of products are you using? Are you like Pokemon cards and Beanie Babies, or what do you got?
So now we have this the brand bags, luxury watches, special edition sneakers, and soon we will have the collectibles. Maybe we can have different player cards and some of those cards that you mentioned just now, and we will have art, diamonds, and jewelry as well.
Okay.
So we have about 33 major brands from retailers and merchants. So that those top tiers luxury brands such as Rolex, Patek Philippe, IWC, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Hermes, Gucci, Balenciaga, Cartier, and also Nike, Adidas as well.
So luxury goods,
Yeah.
high end. What's your threshold of acceptance for luxury? Is it how do you guys determine how luxury is luxury?
So we usually now we only start with those brand luxury brands. So for those luxury, for example, really expensive jewelry, but with no brand. So we haven't start working with them yet. But we start with those brand luxury brands.
Are you the buyer? Are you the person?
Who buy all the products.
Yeah, but are you the person who's like, okay, this is luxury, this is hot, and this is not?
Yeah, I kind of we discuss like usually I discuss with
Yeah.
the team as well, and also with the retailers. So since like they know the market pretty well, and then we kind of like we have like some different exchanging different information for the trendy items.
Because I feel like that's going to be a really big core of your business, right? I used to work in this kind of like social mobile commerce, and when you talk about social mobile commerce, if you like back in the day, it was like Zulily and like Thrillist and even Fab.com. Every day they would always have a couple items, like a couple new items, and the items that they chose kind of became the content and the product, and people would just come back every single day to like see that hot new item, right? So it was like almost like it was like the product was the content. So I think that's a really interesting aspect of your business is, what are you showing on a weekly basis? What are you showing on a daily basis to get people excited? Because like I want to see the next interesting luxury thing. Ooh, I can have that this week. You know what I mean?
Yep. So merchandising, we also we will have someone to handle all the merchandising as well. So we put like those like hot item on top of the search, and yeah.
All right. So I go in, I buy one of these luxury NFTs. I got it on my, my crypto wallet. I can like flex on it and be like, hey, I got this Hermes handbag, or I got this fabulous Cartier watch. What else can I do with it?
So as I mentioned earlier, so besides you can actually buy the luxury goods from our marketplace, right? You can actually store it like in our custody and for the investment purpose, and just transfer the ownership to the next buyer. Next new buyers. So we have the other features is like for the investment purpose, and then we'll be sure we will have the auction as well. And then all of our NFT actually you can also use the NFT in the metaverse, not just like the NFT you can see in the EVA scan.
Oh, that's cool. And then so I can have my Cartier watch in the metaverse, and then I can go and on a metaverse date and flex and be like, oh my gosh, I love your watch.
That's right. But so since our NFT is represent the ownership of the real world physical items, right? Mm-hmm. So we actually reflect the whole thing in metaverse, the image.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Actually, if I may ask, can we actually see, because I'm also interested, how's the twin of the item actually looks like? If you're willing to for example, show it. Is actually going to be like just a photo of it, because as you said, one of the utilities to use in metaverse at some point.
Yeah. So I'm going to share my screen now.
Sure. Yeah, it's so exciting. I'll also catch it whenever it's there.
I think it's not working. Oh yeah.
Brian, which luxury item you would actually buy as an NFT?
I don't know. I'd have to do more research. I'm not actually really into luxury items. I know I might have some nice lighting and a nice shirt on, but I actually don't like things and stuff. I think that I would. This is more aligned with my wife because she is kind of into that game a little bit more than I am, a lot more than I am, and I think I would lean on her because I think that there's there's an aspect here of taste and like not, and I think like the luxury items, not just the brand, because I would just pick like whatever brand's expensive, but there's like another like aspect of like curation and taste embedded into it that I just don't have. Like I have not been kind of looking at these different types of styles of things all my life. Things that I could probably like luxury items that engage with personally, I have no idea. But I do know others in my family who would like this and dig this, and it becomes a game almost, right? So this is what's hot in this season, and you have to know the trends, and you have to be at the beginning of the trend and not the end of a trend, right? And I think that's one of the interesting aspects of it. Like where I could talk about another product. I was kind of mentioning a friend of mine who holds these baseball cards in custodian, and then they trade on the internet in kind of like a Web2 flavor. They do it purely speculation on the sports player, right? So if they believe like that it's a rookie season or the sports player is going to have like a really good season, like they're coming into their own based on things and they're looking really good from last year, and this is like going to be their year. People will speculate on the player by buying their shoes, their baseball card, their football card, or whatever it is, like their memorabilia, and then that becomes more valuable at the end of the year as they win the season. So it's almost like a form of gambling, right? And so this is almost, I see this as a form of gambling as well. Not exactly gambling,
investing wise, yeah.
But it's a little bit like gambling on trends, right? So you're trying to spot what's fashionable, like that is not yet trendy, and I think there's a whole bunch of plays here around getting influencers on board after the fact.
Yeah.
Like imagine you're like a Nike Jordan brand, and you got some flavor of Jordans that aren't that hip, but then you get like the Biebs or somebody else to wear these Jordans on there, and they have the link to the NFT in their bio, and it just like auctions up and starts to like pump up the price because of culture and tradition, right? And I think that's a huge play because people want to be part of the story of culture, either engaged in it within an abstracted way, like, oh, I own this thing, and just a lot like the NFT space in general. NFTs tend to be seasonal, right? So like it was like Bored Apes, and it was like CryptoPunks, then it was Bored Apes, then it was like Mutant Apes, then it was like Pudgy Penguins and Lazy Lions, and it just kind of goes every couple months. It's a new kind of hot new seasonal thing, and I think there's a lot more staying power in what LuxFi is doing because of the brands and the brand reputation, but it also has these like seasonal trajectory curves where the one type of Hermes handbag is going to be hot, but then it's going to be passé, and then it'll still retain its value and it won't drop as like much as a Lazy Lion or like a Bored Ape, but it's still going to drop because that's not in fashion anymore, right?
I guess, and like obviously I want to hear Aida's opinion here as well. Like Birkins will always be valuable. It's actually always goes up. With Rolexes, for example, it's really weird. Let's say 5 years ago, a Rolex for 10K USD weren't just, people were just, oh my God, it's just like 10K. People were going for like really expensive watches. But now, because Rolex stopped producing as much watches, actually almost not producing them, 10K watch, the Rolex, is more valuable right now versus like a really pristine limited edition Rolex, just because they don't produce it anymore. But fashion creates this, like not fake, but like superficial, obviously.
Artificial demand.
Exactly. So it pumps up the price, but like it's really interesting just because the cycle of the trend is much longer versus like with obviously like NFT and like different type of a product as well. Aidaa.
Yeah.
So how do you determine like brand staying power? Is that kind of like part of your calculation as well?
Sorry?
The brand staying power with the items that you choose, we were just saying like how a lot of NFTs are like fashionable and they go up and they go down, but you're choosing brands that have staying power, it seems.
Yeah, you're right. Since like each NFT have the underlying product. So for us, like the NFT is like you won't like go like super high and you won't drop down like to zero. I mean, like in your market, some NFT I think like it's possibility to drop to zero. Sometimes it's just like
a lot of them are dropping to zero.
Yeah, but I would say here's like a biggest advantage that you guys actually attach to an actual physical item.
Yep.
So it's like backed up, yeah. Aidaa, whenever you're ready, I can also share your screen to show the NFT. Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right. I think we just have us on the screen right now there. All right, I'm hitting it. Okay, nice.
Cool.
I really wanted those, by the way.
So for example, the sticker on our marketplace, right? So you'll be able to see like all the metadata in the Etherscan. So it's all like on public blockchain. So and then you see like for example like the descriptions. So it's all in the Etherscan. So each of our NFTs actually have the metaverse versions. So for example like this one, the EC.
Whoa.
So you can see the EC here. And then you can actually wear it on your avatars.
Oh, that's cool.
Like here.
Oh, she's wearing them.
So you need a sample. So you can actually wear it. So each of our products selling on our marketplace, they will have the NFT twins. So this is our NFT twins.
I see so much opportunity for collaborations all over the place. Even like with, let's say that would be like an NFT project like Bored Apes, right? And you would just put they would just produce an avatar like this, but you would provide the shoes, for example, the clothing. There's so much room for marketing here.
Yeah, exactly. And now the metaverse, they need a lot of content, people creating the content to build the real, like the world, like the representing the real world in the metaverse, right? So I think so now we are also the one of the creators for a lot of metaverse projects. So we create all the content in the metaverse. So for people, they can actually wear it, use it, and across different metaverse.
All right, so let's go to the company information. How big is your team?
So we have about 24 people in our team.
Cool.
So I'm based in Hong Kong, and our operation team is here in Hong Kong, and the dev team and the metaverse team is in China, and we have different. And then our marketing is in different countries overseas.
Sure. And then, did you guys raise, or is it self-funded?
So we raised 1.7 million US last year, from crypto, some crypto VC and individual and private investor as well.
Got it. And then what type do you have any partnerships lined up with these brands, or is this all kind of like on your own thing? Or do you have partnerships with chains? Do you have partnerships with brands or any other types of strategic partners?
So we have partnership with retailers. So we have a partnership with many retailers, and we are in discussion with the partnership with brands as well. So since we will help them to build some, for example, events, fashion show, and also the store in the metaverse.
Very cool. All right, so that's about the company. Raised 1.7, got 20 people like across the globe, mostly in Asia. Got partnerships with retailers. What's your biggest problem right now?
What's our biggest problems right now? I think it's for us, for me, if we need to work with retailers, it's much easier to compare to have to sign a partnership with brands. Since for the brands, they are a bit slow, and so for retailers, it's much easier for us.
So the sales cycle to develop with brands. And then in terms of the technology and the auditing, I heard you had some sort of technology around being able to audit or track fingerprint technology.
Yeah, that's right. So for the physical items, right? Each of the physical items, they will have so for the fingerprint is used to tie each authenticate physical item with a digital NFT twins. So we use the surface texture of each physical items to create the product fingerprints of these items. And then the product fingerprints are unique even though they are the same products. And even though they look exactly the same, they are the same product, but the product fingerprint is actually different because the surface texture, they are different. So you can't really see it, but if you enlarge it to 200 times, you'll be able to see the texture is different. This is how we use it. How we call it what we call it product fingerprints, and we also put the product fingerprints in the NFT as well.
It's amazing. And then in terms of your customer persona, or even I want to get into that feedback cycle. I want to hear about who your customers are, because you have a Telegram community like over 10,000 people right now, which is rad. Like, congratulations, that's great.
Thank you.
Like, how did you find this persona, or like what's your approach to get the individuals in and like continually engage the community?
All right, so for us, so I think as I remember correctly, in our Twitter we have 25,000 people, and
Wow.
Telegram is about like 12,000 people, and Facebook, Instagram, we have like different social medias as well. So we use the Google Ads, and we partner up with like different partners, like crypto partners, and then we do the AMA together, and we do some co-announcement, co-campaign together, and this is how we actually grow our community to the size of today.
So just like today, you're gonna talk to our community. We're gonna tell them about LuxFi, and you're gonna grow our community. We're gonna grow your community together.
Yeah, exactly. And do you think I can share our QR code of our social media, so maybe your community can just like scan our QR code and
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let me see if I can share.
For sure.
And we'll share links out to the community as well.
I don't. The button is not working again.
Oh no! All right, we can share it after with links and everything.
Sure,
we'll put it in the post. All right, so you used a lot of influencer marketing to drive your community. What was something that didn't work? What was a marketing experiment that failed, that didn't work, where you're like, oh, I think this is gonna work, but it didn't?
I think some influencer we worked with before, so we thought like they have like really big communities. However, like when we track the people engagements, is not really high. I think it's like I think we need to find the right influencer to work with us in order for us to grow our community even bigger.
Got it.
Yeah, I could imagine like a really cool hype beast, basically, like promoting you guys, who actually like wears the luxury items and likes to flex, and like super visual as well, just because like if something is visual, right, it drives the attention to the product and to the platform as well.
Yep.
Totally. Is there anything you wish we should have asked you?
Actually, I have one more question.
Okay.
Well.
But I'll have my question first. Is there anything we wish you should have asked you? Me first.
Yeah. Hello. Hi.
Yeah.
Oh,
anything?
So
yeah. I'm like yeah.
Okay. Anything that we should have asked you that we didn't yet?
Not sure. Like if you have more questions, like you can.
All right,
ask.
Rebecca, you got it.
For sure. Aidaa, can you walk us through a little bit how verification works? Because, for example, I know your Web 2 basically twin, the real, and actually I had an interaction with their verification process. How do you do their verification? Obviously, you have the fingerprint, which is a proof of it, but how the verification process actually works? Do you have in-house verifier?
So we do not do the authentication process ourselves. So we partner up with like professional verifier to do the authentication parts. Some of them are actually the in-house verifiers of the retailers we partner up with.
Oh, yeah. So you don't have that burden. Yeah, because it's a lot to verify.
Yeah, it's a lot to verify, and then also like you need to have a really big verifier team to do all the authentications.
I think that's going to be the biggest issue, right? Is the trust factor of auditing and authentication in this whole entire thing, right? Because that's the only kind of flaw in the game that I see. It's like once you get it authenticated and on the NFT and out there on the ecosystem, it's like, who's the oracle? Every time you touch real life or real life assets, it's like, who's the oracle? Who's the trusted oracle that then we can utilize and trust? And then from a digital asset standpoint, on just token and token prices, it's definitely Chainlink. They're like the number one oracle and price that people use across multiple chains. There's a whole new kind of factor on like, how do you authenticate real life assets. And I think you guys are really breaking some ground here on how to solve that out. And if you just like the feedback from entrepreneur is like, if this all kind of blows up, just having an organization that authenticates and has the Oracle for in real life assets is like a huge business, is it in and of itself, right? I think it's like a huge opportunity. So I'm really appreciate what you guys are doing. I definitely want to work with you guys on a couple of different projects. One of the things that we had talked about, I don't know if this is okay to share, about utilizing other tokens. So I've been talking to a couple other communities about your guys' idea in terms of like a strategic partner. Well, not only do you have like fiat or ETH, but even having this NFT marketplace partner with other tokens as well, which is like they're super excited about, right? So let's keep that conversation going for sure.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Brian. Thanks for promoting us.
Yeah, absolutely. But well, the first one's free.
All right. We can talk about it offline.
Oh yeah, for sure. We actually have a couple of questions, and then we're like 1 minute over time. And Aidaa, I don't know if you can answer the question before you guys actually live. Someone asked, how much do you charge per transaction? Obviously, like blockchain wise. And maybe Brian can help kind of answer that, but I'm not sure if you already tested it.
I know there's gas fees, but and what's your commission fee on trading? Because I know you can swap, you can pay fiat, and you can pay crypto. What do you guys charge on the swap?
Yeah, so for us, like on the phase one, so after we do a big release, so we don't charge for the NFT fee, so we only charge for the gas fee. So we don't charge for the gas fee, but like only the user, the buyers only pay for the gas fee. And then, but if they want to like have the version to be used in Metaverse, they have to upgrade their NFT. So there's like some charge of that part. And then for the shipping fee as well. For example, if you want to claim your physical items, so we will charge a little percentage of the handling fees. So we will ship the products, everything to your address. Sure. And also, if you want to store in our custodian services, right? So we also charge the fee for the custody fee. So that's pretty much for the phase one how we charge people. And for the phase two, we will charge the commissions from the retailers, not from the buyers.
Got it. Yeah. So you have a custodian fee, you have a transfer fee. You don't have a swapping fee?
Oh, we haven't had a swapping fee yet.
Okay, cool. So one of the questions, other questions in the audience is can I buy it now and ship it later? Like how long can I store it in the warehouse, and how do the warehouses look?
So yeah, you can just buy the NFT first, and then you can decide if you want to claim the physical items or you want to store in our custody. So if you want to store in our custody, we charge a percentage of the retail the selling price. And if you decide to ship to your address, we also charge for the handling fees. It's a small percentage of the shipping cost you have to pay. And also, that's pretty much we will charge.
It looks like there's one more question from the audience. How are you going to attract more users in this macro conditions?
I think it's keep building the products, if that's valuable for people, right? So naturally there's a lot of the user will be using your platform. And for us, the pricing, I mean the products, the price on our marketplace is about the same price as other e-commerce, but we have the NFT plus the NFT on top of each of our products. So it's cheaper compared to other e-commerce if we have the NFT.
Yeah, I think that you guys sourcing, right? I mean, some of these shoes, they're just I know some people that are into the shoe game, they're impossible to get. like the Yeezys and the different flavors of Yeezys or whatever, right? So if you're able to get it and source it, like, and nobody else can get it, I think there's just like inherent and natural demand in there. So I think some of that is just by the style of goods that you guys are going after. But this is rad. And like Aidaa, like really appreciate your time, and I really love what you're doing. I think you're breaking a lot of ground in the on the NFT side of things, on the tokenomics side of things, and giving like crypto like real utility and like a use case that is like I've never seen before, or this idea or this concept. So you're breaking new ground. So I highly respect what you're doing, as well as like creating something new and valuable that people want. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Brian, for having me today, and then Rebecca as well.
Thank you guys.
Awesome.
Thank you.